And welcome back to Watch Bad Movies with Great Comedians, a podcast that what it does is it rips apart some of the Hollywood clunkers, some of the box office bombs in stillborn cinematic shit cannons. I'm Billy Kirkwood, and I'm joined by a panel of fantastic comedians and film fans that are going to help me through this journey. Sorry, I know what the film is, and I'm still really struggling with it. First of all, he is back from his adventures in COVID-dom. Would you please welcome our fairy tale giant, or is he just two midgets in a man suit? We're going to find out. Mr. Chris Scott is back on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Everyone.
There he is.
Evening.
We are also joined by making her second appearance on the show. We had to bring her back because basically, for lots of different reasons, not only was she amazing, but I don't feel comfortable with a series of just white men talking about the film we're tackling tonight. So we're bringing our comedic excellence and our expertise to the show. Would you please welcome Kate Hammer back to the show, ladies and gentlemen? And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you were the reason we reviewed the last movie. So your hands are clean on this one. But there was an element of girlish glee.
I would never have picked this film ever. I would never.
Back as a punishment.
I would never have picked it, and I definitely would say what I wouldn't have done. I wouldn't have picked it and then not fucking turned up.
Don't even get me started. Don't even get. Would you please welcome back?
He bailed on it in the episode.
in real time. In real time. Would you please welcome back Mr. Rick Molland, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, before we get into this film...
Can we just say fuck Chris Thorburn?
Fuck Chris Thorburn.
He owes me money and time.
Yeah. Fuck Chris
Therapy.
Thorburn. He thinks he can get away with it just because he's got massive genitalia, and that's disgraceful.
We are told.
Is this when we play the GIF?
I could, but we'll save it for the end. That could be the interval when old Chris Scott here needs to go for a wee-wee.
Old Chris Scott is what I call my
Chris
penis.
Scott. That's where you go,
what I call my dick.
Before we get into it, I wanted to do this in the last show, and I think we've got to do it right now. What's everybody watching? What's everyone kind of into? You mentioned you went and saw, so was it Seven Samurai?
I was a few months ago. I've had a great couple of months ago to this, like the pictures a lot,
Okay.
or the cinema, as we
Any
say.
good films before we get into the bad ones?
The flicks.
I've seen some great ones. Holy Spider, about a serial killer in Iran, and a female journalist, has to fight through the misogynistic world of like the Revolutionary Guard in Iran to find a serial killer. But it's also like an actual movie. Like it's exciting. It's not like a dull art film.
I'll level with you. I thought just off the name it was going to be a kid's cartoon, a roundabout comedy where a spider became Pope. By accident.
It sounds a little bit like it's got elements of Chow 42.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, is it 44?
Chow 44. Yeah.
The 42 is the prequel. But it's a really good film, and I don't think a lot of people will watch it because it'll look like it'll be quite worthy. But it's actually it's kind of like, I don't know, Zodiac or something. Like it's got that sort of vibe to it. So but despite me saying it's this really important thing about like misogyny and that, I constantly have to stop myself from saying the title like I was Ronnie James Dio. I don't know if you know the song Holy Diver, so I keep saying Holy Spider, and the woman at the GFT looked at me really weird when I accidentally did that to her. So.
Ticket for one, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Is it one ticket yourself, sir? What a surprise. There you go. I was like, all right.
Kate, what are you into just now? What have you seen anything recently?
Well, I'm excited to see A Knock at the Cabin this weekend.
Right.
Pretty good.
So look, is it good?
Did you like Old?
I've not seen Old.
It's not as good as Old, but it's worth a watch.
Not as good as Old.
Old rules.
I feel like the title of Old could have been better.
Oh, wow.
What it says in the tin, man.
But that's it. But I recently watched Chicken Run.
Oh, wow.
Sweet. That's a good movie.
They're going to make a sequel.
Yeah.
They're making a sequel
Yeah.
without Mel Gibson, I should say.
Oh, why is that?
And I have no idea. And Julia...
Market forces.
Listen, and Julia Sawala, remember her?
Yeah.
She's not in it either. No. They're just... I have no idea.
It's got to be other chicken characters. We can't hold belief that these are the same chickens.
I want to see how they've progressed in 20 years.
Yeah.
I want to see...
Just missing a leg and a breast.
Yeah.
But I want righteousness or like something done for the nerdy chicken who does all the engineering. She's definitely a lesbian. And they they made that chicken swoon over Mel Gibson, just like everyone else. And I was like, she's gay. She's gay.
She's
I want a gay
putting
chicken.
on a show.
She's masking.
She's putting on a show.
Doesn't
It
feel
was
safe.
a different time.
Yeah.
But we all know.
Yeah.
She can finally come out there, hen house.
It was
Listen, when everything is, when everyone goes to sleep.
Yeah, you couldn't in those days. You couldn't have lesbians in like a family film, but you could have virulent anti-Semites like Mel Gibson. That was the world that we lived in.
No, you could have, but you had to have one or the other. You can't have both. That would be too much of a treat.
Well, we'll go with the Semi. This one. Rick, what about you?
I am currently addicted to probably the best TV program I've seen in years.
Just ignored your question. Or was it not films we're talking about? Like,
I don't mind. It's
You
what
asked
you
me-
said
no, you
just
said- you
now.
said- you asked me what I was watching.
all right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What are we
Alright.
looking at? What are we looking at?
The Last of Us
I knew you were going to. Last of Us.
is incredible.
With
Like,
Pedro Pascal.
yeah.
I question so many things, but I had a crush on him in Buffy. That's how far back this goes.
he in Buffy?
Wow.
Yeah, he's in Buffy.
All right.
That's what I gotta say.
I love that you're like, look, I actually loved him before everyone else.
Before
was-
the rest of the world.
He was my daddy before. So.
Yeah.
He was a real
Exactly.
Pascal
But,
hipster.
Yeah. Well, he was more of a young cousin in America that I wrote to every now and then,
The series, episode 3 of The Last of Us is like the best TV program I've seen since some of the West Wing. It's,
Oh, wow.
It's like the best thing I've seen. in 20
That one
years.
was really. I'm not a huge fan, but that's a really good episode.
It's incredible.
Can I say though, he was also involved in one cinematic absolute treat. So he was on Saturday Night Live to plug The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they make a Mario Kart trailer, but set in the Last of Us universe. It is
Yes, turning
fantastic.
it's like turning computer games into turning other computer
Gritty.
games into films.
Yeah. I love it. I loved
it's
it.
brilliant.
If you get a chance, make sure to check that out. Me, I just watched wrestling and had a cry.
I saw something today, and I don't know if it's
Closer,
true,
Sean.
but I saw a thing from Paul Rudd, right? And it was a thing from Paul Rudd, and it was saying that Paul Rudd was, and I don't know if this is true, was in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet. And I just don't know. And I was
That
like,
rings a bell, actually. I think, yeah.
is he?
I'm pretty sure he was.
And I was like, I've not
That
seen
does
that
ring a bell.
since so long.
that would have been around about the time he was a job an actor. He wasn't Halloween 5, I think.
No, but no, I mean, he was in Clueless, and that was about 95, and
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet's about then as well, so like that'd be young
And
hip
it
guy.
was this little meme thing, and it was he was working with DiCaprio,
Right.
and Paul Rudd's dad is a huge Titanic nerd, and basically
What a cat.
the script for Titanic dropped on DiCaprio's door, and Paul Rudd talked DiCaprio into like.
Oh, is that true though? Hey, listen.
There's so many moving parts to this story.
If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't have done Titanic.
I mean, it's Paul Rudd, he's the nicest guy in
well,
Hollywood.
is he though? I'm always suspicious of nice people.
Yeah,
That's
too
all I'm
nice.
gonna say.
He's no Pedro.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like that dog tied up outside a shop. Oh, look at him! He's, just freaking out. I'm just scared. I want to be hugged. Moving on to
No,
this
tell us
film.
more about this dog stuff.
No, don't you dare. Have I just found your king? Right.
Where the fuck were you last?
Oh.
Where were you with your dog stuff last film out, mate?
Don't even get me started. Right, we have to talk about Chris Thorburns' pick for this one. We are going all the way back to 1995, and we are going to Showgirls. Now, let me draw your attention to this poster just very quickly. Not the way we tend to see her. She's tend to standing straight up, but apparently there's an entire photo shoot of her covering up her bits. This is Elizabeth Berkley from the 1995 erotic pulp noir comedy drama. I looked it up. That's exactly how they refer to this. Comedy drama.
There's too many adjectives
Far
to
too
describe
many.
this movie.
There's not enough. There's missing. It's missing
they should make some new ones.
certain adjectives.
Directed by acclaimed director Paul Verhoeven, written by Joe Estratas.
Highest pay for the time.
Yeah.
Highest amount of money for a script.
Highest paid. We're going to get a little money business out of the way, first of all. We were chatting about it just before we started. So the film was considered to be a commercial and certainly a critical flop. However, on home DVD and home video.
This is how long the film is. It's like it was the VHS sales that kind of saved the film.
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive. Well over $120 million. It's still in the top 20 home video. Well, it's going to have to be.
But why would people want to own this movie and watch it at home?
Yeah, rather than go out in public and see
Yeah,
it. This is really strange.
let's-
I'm glad somebody's brought this up. We need to investigate
Let's,
this, guys.
It's because you can't jerk off at a cinema anymore.
Ah, yes, because of the woke mob.
Anymore. As of last year.
Smoking and jerking, and that's when the whole cinema, if they want to get people back in and save the industry.
Why I won't fly anymore. It's why I don't.
It was banned, but Rick kept doing it, and so now they've had to make a personal, just your face up at the GFT.
Yeah.
Do not let back in.
They were like, "Excuse me, sir, we didn't think we'd have to have a rule about this, but now that
How
you've
am
been
I
here,
supposed to enjoy Seven Samurai if I'm not allowed to masturbate?
Exactly. Where is the sign? There should be a sign. If you don't have a sign, how am I meant to know?
And you're just like, have you guys tried it in 4X? It's insane.
Oh, man.
The seat in front of you also gets a 4DX. Unfortunately,
Hurt themselves. Someone's gonna hurt themselves. How was your trip to the cinema, darling? I broke my fingers. Right. So much to get through with this film. It's got for its time. It's not got a great cast. Can I just go round? Always a good way. What did you enjoy this film?
I've been keeping my powder dry.
Go on then.
I really like this film. This is excellent. This is an actual fucking movie. This is a real movie.
You sound like Harry Styles.
No, like I'm way too middle-aged to realize if that's a compliment or an insult, but that's fine. All I've heard is that this is terrible. It's my first time I watched it last night. First time ever.
Okay.
And I remember it being, slated when I was a wee guy and everything, and I just never bothered with it. And I watched it, and this is a real fucking movie, and I actually think it's excellent. I think it's a real...
It's excellent.
I think it's an excellent movie. I really do. I know this sounds like I'm maybe doing a bit or anything, and I fucking promise you, I actually really like this. Once I tuned into what I think it was doing, which was being excellent. Kate being excellent.
Right.
I loved it. So yes, I understand I'm in the minority.
You wouldn't have cared. You wouldn't have waited for the home release. You beat the fun.
I didn't go to the cinema going like, this is a proper movie.
The hype that went around this film.
How are you dealing with Andrew Tate being in prison?
What's that? I mean, I'm just waiting to get my diploma from his Hustlers University.
I saw one of them say like, I don't
It
even
sounds like you graduated. That's what it sounds like.
I saw one of them.
I mean, we'll get into it, but I'll explain to you because, and particularly you, because I like to do this to explain to women why this is a feminist masterpiece.
Okay. Before we get to that, so the film had a lot of hype around it going into its release off the back of Basic Instinct. Many have said, which was Joe Estrada's other film, the amount of section. I just want to uncover one thing. We've all made jokes about people, porn was a thing in 1995, right?
Huge if true.
Porn was a thing in 1995.
Yeah.
Would the sex side of it really been enough?
So, obviously, it's come after Basic Instinct. And Basic Instinct, I think, is a erotically charged film.
Have you seen Basic Instinct too?
No. Are you aware of Showgirls?
Oh, yeah,
Showgirls.
I know all about it. Don't you worry.
But yeah, there's a. I mean, you probably had your Basic Instinct. What was it? Fatal Attraction, Basic Instinct, kind of like are in a similar thing because they both got Michael Douglas in it.
That's right.
And then you get this, and I'm just. You asked. I think you said when we did Cats, right? That the thing that was missing from the Cats was one of those was a hairless fucking cat.
Yeah.
If you remove the CGI,
I got my wish.
If you remove the CGI from Cats, you get this fucking monstrosity of a film. Mate,
Not a fan.
I honestly, I hated every moment, every beat, everything they thought was supposedly funny. I hated everything.
I couldn't believe when I saw that comedy was one of the supposed genres of this.
That
Kate,
was added after.
What did you think? That's the first time you'd ever seen it. Heard
Yeah.
of it, of course, but the first time you got to watch it was today.
I watched it at 10 a.m. this morning, which is different than watching it at night, I think, because it really didn't start my day off well.
That's how I'm going to start every day off now.
Oh God, fall asleep watching it. That bit in the pool.
You're such a feminist, and that's what I love about you.
Thank you guys.
I think that you should have to have like a mental health note from your doctor to be able to watch this movie because there's so much
to watch.
Hi everyone.
To watch it or subsequently, it's like, sorry, Kate can't come into work today.
Yeah, exactly.
She watched Showgirls. Oh, I'm so sorry. Take the rest of the week.
I now understand what we're doing with this podcast. Right, because there's only me and you done all the films so far.
Right.
And I'm already feeling my mental health suffering. I'm already going because I mean we didn't this turnaround like we had for Cats we had like 6 weeks off for Cats
Yeah,
so
true.
and then this was like on top of it. This is like on top of each other, and I was like, man, I was genuinely suffering last night with like some sort of PTSD throwback. Going, I don't know what I'd rather be watching right now, Cats or this.
But like you were right, it is there at certain points with all the dancing, and you're just like, this is Cats. Like there's not much of a plot just for this scene. There's more of a plot than Cats, but for certain scenes, it's also hard to make dancing look good and impressive on film.
That's fair.
So a lot of it was just like, and then a man would come up to her and go, "You have a gift," and she's like, "It was not good."
The horrendous. That's a horrendous scene. Where she meets the black guy in the club.
Yeah,
and it is this. It's like some sort of. It feels like some sort of Zach Galifianakis dance off on a.
Well,
he says, "Do you want to dance with me?" And she's like, "I already am." And
shall we get into what?
Please, let's get into it, guys.
Wait,
I don't like your attitude.
I'm gonna get you on board with this.
I feel as though you're about to pick me up in a pickup truck and nick my luggage. That's
First
what it
of
feels
all,
like.
That's a weird euphemism, but yes.
First of all, we have to have Elizabeth Berkley here. Stars as Naomi Malone. I've never seen Naomi.
Naomi.
It's Naomi. It's not Naomi.
It's Naomi.
Which I assume is just Joe Estrada's not spelling something right.
Do you know there's been a 2019. There's a documentary about this.
Really?
Right, it's a documentary about in 2019 because this film is I talk about it each week where you go like what do you count this film as? Okay, do you count this film as so bad it's good, so bad it's bad? Is it a terribly made film? You know, there's those different categories.
Yeah.
This is sort of entering into like I have a review of a French reviewer who thinks it's a work of genius.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Mon ami.
And so there's a documentary about this.
You like the French?
Called documentary called You Don't Know Me.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
No.
Well done. Well, there she is, the star Elizabeth Berkley, who at the time was best known for Saved by the Bell. She did return to Saved by the Bell nearly 20 years later when it was rebooted for NBC.
What, she wasn't getting lots of gigs after this?
Well, as Kate pointed out, basically, as soon as this film was released, she got dropped by her agent.
So
Done immediately.
Done.
Yeah. So
Done.
This is what my favorite. The memory I have from this when this was out is that.
Did you lose some memory by watching this?
I think I blacked it out.
Maybe some zinc, but that's a different thing.
So when this was out, it killed her career.
Yes.
And then she I remember she was cast in, I think it's Curse of the Jade Scorpion, which is a Woody Allen film.
So she was?
In like 2001.
It's
pretty
hindsight, you know.
And Woody Allen.
There's a lot of famous people in that film. That's the worst thing.
Yeah. Woody Allen said, like, no one's career should be destroyed over one mistake. And that's the reason I've cast her as at the time he's like 65 and she's his 29-year-old
of course.
girlfriend because I imagine his stepdaughter's even too old for him at that point.
Oh, God. God.
Though it does sound like he's playing like 3D chess of being so far ahead. Like he's like, in 10 years I'm going to get cancelled so I can like be like, hey,
and it's like, and it's just like, when that's how bad this film is.
Yeah.
That the guy that groomed his own stepdaughter is going, I feel sorry for her.
It's a bit. Did you see this film when it first came out?
Yes, I probably didn't see it on. I didn't go and see it on the cinema.
I definitely didn't go and see it. I went and saw it because I had a friend. Let's call him Stephen. That's not his name.
What is his name?
Steve.
His name's Stuart. His name's Stuart. And basically, right. So Stuart. There's no two ways about it. Years later, turned out he was a nonce. Right? There's no two ways about it.
Is this the nonce section?
This is the nonce section.
Woody Allen, Stuart, anyone else you want to get in here?
How excited he was that Spice World was coming out. That's why he had an unhealthy obsession with these type of films. And it's the memory I've got connected because he was so obsessed with this film, he didn't even take it back to the video shop. He claimed he lost it just so he could keep a hold of it. before it came out in general.
So when this was released on cinemas, they had to employ other staff,
security
to keep underage kids from sneaking in. And you're like, well, I mean, at its core, it's not.
At its soft core.
No, but that's the thing. It's
Thanks,
like,
guys.
It's like an extended.
We're clapping that off.
I'm surprised that David Duchovny wasn't writing a fucking letter at the start of this.
There's a reference.
Love it. You know what I mean? It's so like softcore pornish that it's not erotic. It's got no.
This is why I would say it's not erotic at all, and I think like that's the point. The point is that it's not erotic. The point is she can't dance. The point is that none of them can act or are being put into these performances. It's the sort of thing that if David Lynch did it, you'd all be fucking jerking off about how it's a great fucking artistic choice. And this is a great artistic choice. And
it looked very Lynchian, I would say, like, but and not Twin Peaks man is in it as well, so it like relates to it.
But disjointed and doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, no, but that's so you're like there are parts of it that could have worked if that was the goal, but that wasn't the goal. They admit, I think now because they did it so badly, we're like, if we look at it from this other angle, maybe it could be.
That's
and I think that's why.
That's very interesting.
If you look at
can't believe we're fucking defending.
No.
Even the director believed in it so much that he waived 70% of his directorial fee so he could make it the way he wanted to and make it 18 plus. And then he never got the rest of the money because it was never a hit.
Yeah.
But he waived his fee because he thought
but every Paul Verhoeven film that he made in America, apart from like Hollow Man, right, is basically a ridiculous fucking like kind of satire on fucking like whatever he's going for. Right. So this is the one film where he decided not to bother. Right. Bullshit. It's a masterpiece.
No. So this is the thing. Where do we stand?
You've gone too far.
Where do we stand on Paul Verhoeven? Where do we stand on Paul Verhoeven?
One of the greats.
I like Paul Verhoeven.
Okay. I think it is Emperor's New Clothes, and I think it's Emperor's New Clothes, and I think
even RoboCop.
I think based on RoboCop, right. I think I think based on RoboCop, it's like looking at M. Night Shyamalan's work in that, all the way through it, and then going, oh, that one with the fucking trees is a masterpiece. There's one where the plants are killing people.
Oh, The Happening. That's not good.
Yeah,
that's not good at all.
It's like going, and it's like, and this what we're doing with this is going.
We're going to get to go to do Old at some point, and we're fucking having this argument.
I think what we do with Verhoeven is we assess. We're looking at it and going, we assess all his films based on like RoboCop and going, oh well, he's a secret genius and he's a misunderstood. And,
I don't think he's a secret genius.
Yeah.
You think he's
a
outward genius?
Out and proud.
If this is your first time ever experiencing what Showgirls is all about, let's get into it now. Naomi Malone is a young
Nomi.
Nomi. Fuck off! It's not a name. It's not a name.
If that's not her name,
that's not a name.
Is it maybe
Nomi is not a name.
Is that maybe a reference to Klaus Nomi?
I don't give a fuck.
Is that his name?
The Malone family don't need this shit. Nomi
it's not her name. It's not her name.
Well,
Nomi,
good point.
Nomi Malone described in the plot, because I had a little nosy about some of the treatments and where described as a young drifter that hitchhikes to Las Vegas, hoping to make it as a showgirl. After a driver who picks her robs her, which we see very early in the film. Nomi meets Molly Abrams, a costume designer, who takes Nomi in as a roommate. Let's see them. They become fast best pals. There they are. There they are. I mean, it's a natural.
It's
I've
really...
got to say, for the first time ever, that's a Saved by the Bell face.
It is.
That's a Saved by the Bell face. Got to say, no one's trying to be sexy there.
I mean, I think she was cast in it after a load of people turned it down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they went to the cast. It's like Drew Barrymore. They asked Drew Barrymore. Oof. And I mean, E.T. would be a different film to fucking look back on, wouldn't it? At that point.
Well, no, she done. Did she not do? Was it Poison Ivy?
Poison Ivy. Yeah. Poison Ivy.
She had form for erotic thrillers of the 90s.
Drew Barrymore. Who else turned it down? What's her name? Angelina Jolie.
Was it Charlize
B.
Theron?
Arthur.
Charlize Theron and
B. Arthur.
Pam Anderson.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
Pam Anderson turned it down, and you kind of and then it goes. So they had to go that far down the thing that you're now going out of people who've done films into TV stars, and you see the difference in what you're getting.
I mean, I wouldn't, fellow feminists, back me up here.
Hi everyone, I'm a male feminist.
I don't think this is her fault. Like the acting choice, that's the director. I would put this all on the script being so bad and the director being so bad.
I think what we're saying is that it's an auteur's choice, Kate. A real auteur. Paul Verhoeven.
A bad auteur, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I think she's bad. I think he's bad. I think the script's bad. I don't think anyone is good. I don't think anyone's got the ability to be good. I think it's fucking awful.
I mean, when it's like you're supposed to be wowed by the art and then that's the art.
Well, you see, this reminded me of...
point.
No, it's not.
that reminded me of the stage production that you watched for Cats.
No, this reminds me of The Floor is Lava on fucking Netflix. This is what this is. This is a zone in the Crystal Maze. This is bullshit.
The new series of Squid Game's gonna get tits out.
But so what happens is Molly invites Naomi backstage at Goddess, which is what we're viewing here. The Stardust Casino. Where do they get their ideas for these names? I've no idea. She works to meet Crystal Connors, who is the star of who's played by let me double check.
Gina Gershon.
As indeed.
So this is So she gets her flatmate lets her go in to see the show where we get to meet the titular showgirls. Thank you. Titular.
Shall we meet Crystal?
I realize you're not making eye contact with me when you say that.
I'll say it.
Yeah.
Titular.
Okay, now it's a lot.
Okay, cool.
Promo picture.
I get that a lot.
Here she is, the star, Krista Connors.
Oh,
I
brilliant.
think she looks like Amy Winehouse.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a good call. Actually,
It's like, I don't know what it is about it.
even this guy looks to be panicked in the background. Like,
Yeah.
whoops, am I being picture taken again? Damn it! I thought we'd only film my one scene. Basically, the diva star of the casino's topless dance review, which again I didn't really know was the name. But Naomi tells Crystal she dances at Cheetah's Topless Club, because I want to mention the fact that she is getting into showgillery, if that's a thing.
Yep. Showgillery.
Gallery, if that's a thing, I'm not exactly sure. Krista diversely tells her that what she does is akin to prostitution. When Naomi is too upset to go to work that night, Molly takes her dancing at the Crave Club, where she will meet her romantic lead, kind of, but not really, of the film. So we meet him, who is played by I'm going to get his name right, Philip. Who's one of the few actors to turn up in the sequel. I should tell you.
Good
Glenn
for him.
Plummer as James Smith. Here he is. Now, James has had a career, I beg your pardon. Glenn has had a career, and he is one of the probably only actors of this who has been consistently busy for the last 20 years. Like, did not miss a beat.
Okay.
He had TV shows, films. He has worked as recently as last month. He is still going strong. This might not be one of his
Is that because no one knows he's in it?
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. He doesn't have the dreadlocks anymore.
Or maybe casting directors recognise brilliance. That's what I'm saying.
And you're saying he's the only brilliant person. I mean, it's...
Look, they're all brilliant. They're all brilliant.
What's your favourite part?
Oh man, there's so many, right?
No.
I'll tell you what I think my favourite bit is.
I want the one that's going to be played instead of your first dance.
My favourite bit is when the choreographer guy, Tony, where he's like,
Don't you worry.
When he's going
Don't you worry.
When he's going through the lineup.
You mean this guy who is in charge of them, or do you mean the...
Yes, no, the guy that's in charge, who's like, I've got a reputation for being a prick, and he goes around and says all these awful things to all the women there.
Was that your favourite part?
That is my favourite bit. Because, you know...
So I can do the quote. Hang on.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Tony Moss, his name is. Okay, ladies, I'm Tony Moss. I produce the show. Some of you probably heard I'm a prick. I am a prick. I've got one interest here, and that's the show. I don't care whether you live or die. I want to see you dance, and I want to see you smile. I can't use you if you can't smile. I can't use you if you can't show. I can't use you if you can't sell.
Joe took the rest of the day off after he wrote that.
Right.
Definitely.
like that is that this film is letting you know what's happening. This guy is a prick. Every man in this film is a skeevy,
Without
exploitative.
subtext, this film is forcing it down your throat. What is happening? I'll agree with that.
Right, yeah, because not every film should be subtle. This film's just like, hey, everything's going to be like, because Verhoeven and Esterhaus are both maniacs, right? Esterhaus is like a fucking weird right-wing, sleazy, horny fucking dude, right?
He looks like a preacher that has been banned for sexual abuse.
He's sure.
That's right. I genuinely have a photograph of him.
Are we going back into the non-spirit of the ship?
I know. Keep it for non-section. Come on. Esterhaus is this maniac. Verhoeven is this kind of weird...
like a cult leader.
Yeah, weird. He now looks like who's the guy that Bannon. He now looks a bit like that, Bannon.
Oh,
the guy,
Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon, yeah.
Do you think he looks like him?
It's just a bit of Kirkwood about
Like
him.
me?
What the fuck? There's a bit of Kirkwood.
It's awful.
It's a touch of the corner. He's a maniac, right? Verhoeven is a maniac, but he's like a kind of liberal European, like, yeah, let's just all get our tits out, fucking European director guy. And he's a maniac, and he just wants everything to be at a 10. And he's just said to everyone, just go for it. Like, I can imagine him just being like, am I going to try and do a Verhoeven impersonation? Yes, I am. Yes, just go for it. Be bigger.
Wow.
And it's going to, I know, perfect.
If we
Where
can
did-
just
where did
put
Chris
a banner
go?
across the screen that just says cancel Chris Scott
Right.
now.
Oh, what? We can't even impersonate the Dutch anymore?
I bet you think Brexit was a mistake as well.
The woke mob comes against us Dutch impersonators, but and this is a ridiculous scene.
Sorry.
Dutch impersonator
Sorry,
sounds like a 90s band.
The Dutch impersonators. I saw them at the Barrowland supporting somebody once, but like you're going like, oh yeah, they didn't know they were doing anything ridiculous. Look at these ridiculous lines of dialogue they're saying. This is obviously meant to be like ridiculous.
They interviewed 200 showgirls in Las Vegas and used mostly verbatim to make the script. So it's not him. The genius is the women who didn't get paid to write the
I'm
script.
glad we both agree this is genius and the women are genius. So you see, it's
Can I just give you
people on board.
another one of those genius lines?
Yes.
Come back when you fucked some of the baby fat off you.
Right. This is the fucking problem. He is a shit writer. I've been dancing about. You mentioned you like Basic Instinct. I did not like Basic Instinct.
No,
it's remembered nearly 30 years later.
Didn't like Basic Instinct. I found
It's shit.
yeah,
it's not well written. He is not a good writer.
But
He is not a good writer.
right now.
But this is the
It's
point.
not subtext. It's not subtlety. That's like going to a pantomime. going,
Yeah.
There's no
they
subtext.
are really smashing this.
It's not meant to be subtle. It's meant to be extreme. It's meant to be, look at how this exploitative film is about the exploitation that this woman has to deal with at every part of her life.
You know, you're right.
It's
That's
form
backwards.
and
That's
text
That's
together, guys.
That's genuinely backwards justification. That's
That's bad storytelling.
It's bad. It's
That's not trusting your audience to figure.
Not from the 2 hours and 5 minutes that I watched last night, Kate.
Can I take you to some of the tragedy that also happens in the film? Can I take you to some of the
Yes.
tragedy?
That it ended and wasn't on for another 5 hours.
Well, we have skipped over just one bit. Nomi and James have a brief fling.
Yeah.
James is a choreographer, and choreography's...
But she's on her period, so.
Oh my God, right.
I
remember as a kid,
I don't believe
remember as a 15-year-old or whatever I saw this just going, well, that's a first. Like, I remember. And then 25 years, no, not 25 years later, that's ridiculous, 10, 12 years later, having what I refer to as the showcase moment when I saw a guy and a girl in the garage in Glasgow having an argument, and she went, oh yeah. She put her hand down her front and went, Rambo! Right at him. And I remember...
Wait, she did it to herself?
She went Rambo right at him.
Probably not her first blow.
And I remember the silence at the garage.
That's a good joke.
At least give
That's a good joke. Come on, everyone. The wee guy's a good joke. Come on. Well done, Rick.
I mean,
well done's maybe the one way to put it.
That is like
I got your number.
powerful.
But it's like, yes! Yeah, and I was the only person there going, yes! Yes!
It's like Showgirls.
Yeah,
That's
it's like
it.
Showgirls. Everyone remember Showgirls? They did bleed. That's
That woman is the Verhoeven of women at the garage.
Well, this is what happened. You're right. She's on her period. No, that it's well. Naomi, what happens is she has James
Nomi.
Gibbs.
Nomi.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. It's fucking ridiculous. I'm not having it.
Every time.
Another fucking reason Estrata is a twat.
This-
or fucking the I's don't work particularly well, or the H's don't work. I don't know how you spell the fucking name.
Esterhouse doesn't even need to use all the amount of vowels he could.
Well,
That's how
there
good
it
he
is.
is.
There it
That's
is.
how good he is, guys.
Is there a you know the way in a lot of films like the character's called like John Walker and things like where he's like it's a character passing through. Is there something to this Nomi in the fact that is it's not a real name and
Nobody
it's
knows her.
like that?
Yeah.
Is I
Nomi knows her.
No, me. Like,
No,
like,
you don't
the
know-
whole point is that she is. It's not a real name. It's not a real whole
Yeah.
point, and it's like
She's like an indispensable thing to these people, which is the whole thesis
and
of the
to
film.
you apparently.
So why is her surname Malone?
No.
There
I'm
is
on
no
her
thesis.
side.
There is no thesis in this film by your own.
No, I said there's no subtlety.
Right. Anyway, the dance routine she thought was going to make her a big star is actually given away by James, who is having a relationship with Nomi's former co-worker, Penny, who she gets pregnant. Let's get Penny up on the screen here for a second. Here's Penny. Penny is not done in the Showgirls universe, though.
Back for the sequel?
She's back for the sequel. Not only is she back for the
She's a
sequel,
star.
she fucking directed it.
Oh.
She is the sequel.
She
Wow.
is the sequel.
It's called
Pennies-
Showgirls. Pennies from Heaven.
Is it really? Is it really called Pennies from Heaven?
It's called Pennies
I'm
from
not
Heaven.
gonna wait.
There
And
was-
she produced the film too, right?
Yeah, there was a plan. It was like 2012, I think, or so, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
there was a plan. There was a Verhoeven plan for a sequel.
There we go.
God.
Yeah. So this is the one that actually happened. There was a Verhoeven plan for Showgirls 2, which was in place.
This would be a great sequel.
Whilst he was making it, and it was called Showgirls 2. Nomi does Hollywood.
Well, okay, we'll get to
Right.
it. We'll get to it. But like that, oh God, I can't believe you guys hate this film. It rules so much.
Mate,
Is this your favorite film, though?
It might be.
Oh my god! Anyway.
I mean, it's maybe not my favorite, but it's pretty good.
Well, there we go. Let's see. The show's director humiliates Nomi by telling her to put ice on her nipples. We haven't even mentioned that to make her hard. Furious, Nomi abruptly leaves the audition after scattering ice everywhere in a fit. Despite her outburst, Nomi gets the job and quits Cheetahs. Steady employment. Krista further humiliates Nomi by suggesting she would make a goodwill appearance at the boat trade show, which turns out to be a thinly disguised prostitution setup.
can we, because we've moved on from Cheaters, can we discuss?
You can discuss Cheetahs if you want.
discuss Cheetahs?
Which ironically is actually the name of a strip club owned in Las Vegas by a friend of mine who's a wrestler. Believe it or not, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Did he name it after the film?
No, I don't think. I get the film is quite a generic name, to be
okay.
honest. And I did, maybe Mr. Estrata
it's very much-
influenced
it's very
the
much-
whole
it's very
separate
much-
universe.
It's very much the bull and dog of strip clubs.
The bull and dog. The pig and folk.
Yeah,
That's what I would also call my strip club, but that's different.
What, the bull and dog?
Yeah, you really like dogs.
So
Pork,
it
pork.
tries to create within Cheaters, like what was the Tom Hanks comedy film? The
A punchline.
Punchline, like this. It's this element of like, because it's got the there we go.
Yes.
Now,
Oh, her dresses are my favorite. Okay, that's
we
my favorite
have
part
to
of the
talk a
film.
little bit about Cheetahs because
It's all coming together.
and I've got to say, I don't hate the scenes in Cheetahs because
It begins.
Robert Davi. No,
No,
First of all, you got
it's
one
fine,
of
guys.
those Fratellis in the fucking Robert Davi.
Yeah.
And of course, the
I would also argue there's a little scene where Robert Davi does a wee dance, and he might actually be the best dancer in the entire film.
bold.
Like, he does a wee dance, and it's actually quite good. Like, just for
Bold.
1 second.
A wee dance.
A wee dance. Wee Robert. Big
Did
Robert
you
Davi.
have you learned it? Could you
does
show
a wee.
us?
He does a little kind of like. I mean, I'm no Robert Davi, but I'm really more of a Nomi, you know.
Let's talk about Cheetahs. I mean, every night it's emceed by the character's name. I think is D.
But she not got like a nickname or something. Is it not like Big Mama or something? she's called?
Yeah. I can't. But they seem to have. Oh yeah, here we go. It's Henrietta or Mama Bazoom.
Mama Bazoom.
Mama Bazoom, who
Just like Mama
when
Bazoom
she'll-
used to make.
when she'll hit a punchline,
and then
her top
look,
just kind of
that's
pops down.
Yeah, it's like a mechanized, and it shows her nipples and then pops back up, and that's brilliant.
I mean, I want one of those for my next spots.
Lynn
stand up.
Tucci, no relation to Stanley. Imagine the call comes in. Have we got the role for you? Hollywood blockbuster. Wisecracking MC at a strip bar.
She's great in it.
By the way,
Her character's the only one who like really showed a man in the audience when he was like, "I'll put him one away," and then she just like fucking with words, you know, and then pops out the nips a couple of times.
That's why it's completely unbelievable.
It sounds ridiculous.
You see what we're having to deal with here, Kate, with these
confused.
These retrograde attitudes.
How dare you?
When I am trying to defend these women,
we don't
like all good men. There's nothing women like more than a man telling them about feminism and defending them.
Yeah, no, soaking wet over here. Yeah,
it's like a 4DX in this place.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sitting in front of Rick at a normal movie theater.
Look.
I can actually feel my penis eating itself out of embarrassment. It's anyway,
not for the first time.
Moving on, just grinding away in my pelvis. It's all done. Let's move on with. I actually quite liked. I didn't mind some of the scenes with these guys. They actually are probably one of the few elements of warmth in the movie.
So
but is that down to the performances more than the script and the direction? I've got to say, Chris.
Yeah. So I mean,
did you add this?
Yeah, I added a wee censor box because I figured on YouTube they didn't want to let you see ditties.
I appreciate it.
Thanks.
I mean, could you not have just like done the video a little bit further on? Like,
no, because these are from my personal files.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
he didn't even know this was from Showgirls. He didn't even know this was from Showgirls.
I genuinely get the impression that Chris Scott's internet search history is suspiciously clean.
Oh yeah,
up until yesterday.
I genuinely when I finished watching Showgirls and it came up in Prime with like other films you might like, and it was all just like the worst sounding films, like Deadly Attraction, you know, Fatal Suspicion, all these like real B grade fucking sleaze fests, which I will watch.
All of them better than this. So there's a thing where they do with this where they go where she's in this strip club, and then it's the whole point of her leaving these behind and going and get what she wants by moving into the Showgirls realm. And then, because these guys are pretty much arseholes as well. Yeah. You know, they're mistreating the women, things like that. But then there's a bit later on where these two turn up like the fucking family.
Yeah.
Going, I'm proud of you, kid. I knew you could do it. And you're like, man, no, you were a cunt then as well. Like, the whole thing's this.
We gave you your start in this business.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. It's almost as if they're like trying to take ownership for something they didn't have ownership over. And that's, you know, like instead of like letting her have her own agency, they're trying to take some of that from themselves. Almost as if that's part of the point of the film. But that's interesting. Okay, cool. Just let me go move on.
No. That's not the point of the film. The point of the film is for Paul Verhoeven to see tits.
You are shoehorning anything. You're like, if you actually think about it differently.
That is how I sound as well. Good impersonation.
All right. Let's
you're the me doing Paul Verhoeven of me.
Let's cover a couple of elements of the film that we haven't got to yet. Right. First of all, as Chris Turner boyfriend Zach Kerry, played by Kyle MacLachlan.
It's like an evil Andy Warhol looking guy.
Yeah, I loved his emo haircut.
Yeah.
Well, he seems to have a couple of different ones in it. Here we go. Here's Kyle now. Kyle now. Staring
Wearing well.
Still with the memories. So, how long? You can see it in his face. Look at that. He's not okay.
He aged real hard.
Not okay.
How long out of Twin? The first time I ever.
This is 1995. He is not far out of time.
Twin Peaks was like 91?
Yeah, in fact, the film, which would have came out maybe
Walk With Me?
94, 96.
Oh, yeah. I guess maybe
so what he done? Like Blue Velvet?
Blue Velvet's 86.
Yeah.
Dune was 84. So Dune was
I fucking loved him. I fucking loved him in that film.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's probably at the peak of his powers at this point.
Working with a writer and director also at the peak of their powers. Excellent.
Yeah, but I mean the peak, and then it's all downhill after a peak.
After this film,
yeah,
correct.
And that peak does not inside. It does not have to be that fucking high.
Wow, you don't like Blue Velvet?
But Oh no, I was talking about this.
All right, I thought we were talking about his career.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
Blue Velvet. I
Well,
love.
anyway, Krista, the star of the show, and the entertainment director, Zach Kerry, are in a relationship. And, there's lots to unpack here. So, because one thing we've skipped by is when Krista makes a surprise visit to Cheetah's when Naomi's working. Now, I do not have a picture of the lap dance.
A usable picture.
Yeah,
of the
see,
lap
when I was
dance.
looking for pictures, it was really trying to find ones that, you could actually show on YouTube.
Yeah.
So Crystal is Gina Gershon.
That's right.
Okay. The other two women considered for the role, Madonna was considered for the role, and Sharon Stone was considered for the role. Madonna turned it down because she felt the film demeaned women.
Hey, Dick Tracy, she was great in that film.
Yeah.
I just want to get that in there.
Yeah.
I'll tell Madonna she's wrong as well.
Yeah.
Miss Madonna before you go on stage.
The only thing that surprised me about this film is it's not a Harvey Weinstein
that now?
production.
Well, God.
I believe in art.
It's the only thing that you just don't get a fucking. There's not a cactus in the chorus line.
Krista, who has basically requested a lap dance from Naomi because she is attracted to her, offers her £500, and that is seen. We were joking earlier about like people wanking, going and seeing this in the cinema and what have you. I guess this is probably where it gets its sort of mainstream over sexual element that people would go, well, you don't see this in every kind of mainstream film.
Yeah.
Like you didn't, certainly not at the time. So this is 1995.
Yeah, you didn't see this on Independence Day.
You did not, and I looked, and I like, well, no one's getting a lap dance. What's the point? It's an interest.
Just sorry, and then Will Smith going, "I gotta get me one of these."
Oh God.
It's just weird because she goes and buys a lap dance, and it's even in the description it's like, oh, she's a bisexual woman, but it's like at every turn
it's
jealousy and power, and
there's different points throughout when you look at how sexuality is dealt with right the way through, like from as her what's the film, is it called the Wild Geese in the 70s, right? And the Wild Geese in the 70s has a gay soldier in it.
Yes.
Right. And it's this, but it's like, it's not dealing with it. It's dealing with it how film deals with it at that particular era.
Right.
It's really kind of, it's almost, he's a gay soldier, but he's camp as fuck. So it's all kind of like, it's all like a Carry-On movie. You've got all the straight soldiers are like, and then the end of it is him being attacked by from memory that they're fighting black tribesmen. And he's as he's getting killed by a group of black guys, he's like, "Oh, just how I wanted to go, being torn apart by." Like the whole, it's like,
is that a direct quote?
No, it's something like that. It's honestly, it's something.
Right, it's a reflection of the time, just like how Chicken Run was a reflection of the time.
It does. And
I love the fact you noticed that though, because it totally gets me subtext, and I kind of want to see the rest of the. I want to see her backstory from Chicken Run.
Oh my God!
I kind of want to see the backstory now.
When you look at this is your first. This is the first 90s.
She was in love with a gay fox. Sorry, right? So this is it. It is so forbidden. Right? She's in a relationship with a lesbian fox. Sorry.
That's interspecies. I'm not even sure if I'm okay with it.
Forbidden. It is so forbidden. I mean, it's a Verhoeven style.
Listen, Chicken Run is about
And they go
unbridled
into
sexuality.
a hot tub, and the fox just writhers around in the fucking pool.
This chicken's got great tits. It's good.
But
Come on.
there's so much going on with this.
But it's the thing is, these two, with the start of like Basic Instinct, which is your first time that sort of bisexuality hits mainstream cinema, and then this is a carry on from that in a way as well. And it's like it's almost that writers. What was big about that film? Well, we put another bisexual character in there, and it's like, but because they're bisexual, they're slightly, they can't just be a normal person.
No, they're always coded as deceitful, or
and it's like, and it's the thing. So she's the femme fatale in Basic Instinct, and it's like, well, it's another version of that. So you can see why Sharon Stone doesn't want to do it, because it's the same fucking rolling
Yeah.
again. And so it becomes a manipulative thing, and it's the same writer being very cheap.
What do you think?
I also want to point out that I think Gina Gershon's usually great in everything, and I actually think she's great in this because it's a masterpiece. But I do appreciate how little effort she puts into putting on kind of a southern accent. Like she really like throughout the whole, like I guess she's meant to be from like.
Oh yeah,
the
at
South.
one point someone asked for her signature, and they were like, "We knew you were from Texas."
Yeah, and she's like, "Thank you, darling."
Yeah,
Like, every just now and again,
that's
just
what
go,
everyone does.
"Darling."
Everyone just goes, "Darling," don't they? Like they're
Yeah,
in like
but she puts no effort into it whatsoever.
That's over the speaker on set. Thank you. Say darling.
Yes, no, you're from Texas.
Darling. I'll take it. At this point, I'll
Cut.
take it. It's fine. Fuck it. We'll get it in the edit. But this is the origins of the hatred from Nomi and Krista. Nomi is determined to bring down Krista, going as far as seducing Zach.
Pretty easy to seduce that guy.
Oh,
Just
God.
want to say. She didn't have to put a ton of effort
All you
into
need
it.
is some chlorine and a couple of water wings, and you are ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, again, the scene when she
Stop
goes,
saying again.
Right.
Stop saying again.
Like-
No one has agreed with you at any point.
I mean, I feel like the tide is turning here. And speaking of water splashing around, when she goes back to his place and they have the sex scene and
With the 3 dolphin statues.
yeah, I mean, it's a classy place. It's if I ever win the lottery, that's the kind of pad I'm owning, right?
Shall we get this past? Because this might be difficult to get past. I've got 2 photos. It's a bit.
Oh, there we go.
It's a bit the best I could get. It's not the best one. Shall we get?
Where's the censored square?
Yeah, exactly. I put a little bit of effort into
Can we
it.
get that? Can we get that?
There will be a censored
Yeah.
square over there.
Children avert your eyes.
With the noise from Chris Thorburns' GIF.
Yeah. I want to say that. So I was watching it this morning and I had to make breakfast at one point. So I was on the kitchen table and my roommate walked through, stopped at that moment, watched it. And I was like, isn't it this a wild film? And then, after Nomi comes back up and then my roommate just went, "Oh, I thought she died." Like that's the tone of that scene. Well, she was literally like, "This is an insane movement. This woman is in trouble." But
If you got to break this down, right, this actual scene, first of all, this poor girl, because she is getting pelted in the face the whole way through this. She's getting effectively waterboarded. Is that what they call it? She's getting
she
waterboarded.
gave up Nazi secrets at the end of this.
She's getting pelted in the face. First of all, if you've ever had sex in the shower or anything, you know it's kind of like having sex with a fucking balloon. I hate saying that, but it's just awful. It's just better. I've
not had sex in the shower,
It's not.
Someone, and so we,
I've not had sex in the shower, but I have had sex with a balloon, so I totally
Yeah, you know
understand
exactly what
you're
I
saying.
mean. That's why arseholes are like balloon knots. Moving on. But it's
Beloved
like,
by clowns.
even as like, so I must have saw this when I was maybe 16, 17. I'm not entirely sure. Even at that age, going, well, this isn't good.
I had. This will sound bad, but I believe that I turned the film off the first time I watched it. After that, because I know the only memory I have of this sort of film was that ridiculous sex scene, and it just.
It's so beyond
ludicrous.
overacting. That was when I was like, I feel like maybe if they had kind of done that the whole way through, it could have been like a choice of extreme acting. But it was just not everyone was on the same
page. Do you think Elizabeth Berkley's performance is not extreme all the way through? Because like, she basically does this.
I think she's giving it her best shot. I'm just saying. I think she's doing her best
They were
work
considering
here.
Michael Barrymore for the.
Right, so I can't say anything because me and Michael Barrymore are Twitter friends. But did you know that?
I didn't know that.
I have a couple of famous followers on Twitter.
But
Tom Cruise, John Cena, and Michael Barrymore. You're welcome. You're welcome.
I think we'll just let that sit for a wee second.
I still remember when I found out Tom Cruise was. I mean, obviously it's not Tom Cruise. I'm more aware of that. But I remember how I found out. A friend of mine was over in Italy just as COVID was starting, and they were filming Mission Impossible over there. And he went, "Oh my God, saw Tom Cruise today." And I went, I'm gonna go and get a screenshot of Tom Cruise's Twitter. And I'm going, "Oh, you won't believe they just saw blah 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 blah." And I was like, "I'm gonna get Tom Cruise's Twitter." What? And there's follows you, and I won't lie, I went cold. I was like, what have I done? Just really to this day.
Do you think maybe like he was on the set of Mission Impossible with Christopher McQuarrie and he was like, "Oh, Billy Kirkwood follows me.
Well, that was it. Someone immediately pointed out, what savage, I wasn't following him back. I did do, because I got scared. I literally got scared.
So the time this is just I've got breaking news on something that's genuinely just happened. Raquel Welch has died.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
I mean, it won't be breaking when this comes out, but
Yeah.
we've all hopefully processed our grief about Raquel Welch.
Something broke when she was falling, dying. I have no idea. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
What do you want me to
You
say?
mean in the space-time
Raquel Welch
continuum?
didn't get up this morning and give a fuck about my problems. Sorry, that's who I am.
Hold on. Just double check. She might have followed you on Twitter.
Oh God. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Raquel Welch.
Rest in peace. Or PCs if something fell off.
You were great in Naked Gun 33 1/3.
She was. She was.
But yeah, that's the next scene in the she's like writhing about in the pool and shit, and it's like you should shake your head because it's ridiculous. It's completely mental.
But and I don't have maybe an issue with it as much as like tonally, I want to watch something that's been thought about throughout. Like, oh, this makes sense as a movie, as a 2-hour experience. This movie was like pinging all over the place. No, you could never get into any character. You were not let in. And then they all the most tragic backstories, and someone gets kicked in the face, and you're like, what? And I'm supposed to feel good?
No, everyone. I mean, look, the one bit about the casting of Elizabeth Berkley as opposed to somebody else in it is it's sheer accident because everyone has just turned it down because it's shit. Which is direct quote from everyone that turned it down.
Hey, listen, man, geniuses are not understood.
And the writer himself.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: Esterhaus is a lunatic, and I can imagine reading that in the page and it being mental. But my man,
but he typed it.
Yeah.
Verhoeven.
But how can a right-wing madman write a feminist masterpiece?
Listen, exactly.
No, that's not a rhetorical question.
Okay,
that's a real question.
I've got to say,
Mein Kampf is very misunderstood.
Hey, listen, you can get into that if you want, Rick. My point. So
if that was a Fringe show title, I'm a right-wing man. That's your masterpiece. I would buy a ticket.
I believe in auteur theory, as basically set out by Cahiers de Cinema. Now, if you guys can't accept my wonderful French analysis of this masterpiece, that's fine. You guys maybe just don't get cinema, and that's okay.
Listen, what do you think of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze?
The Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah. Do you like that?
You're
wrong. Right, moving on.
I do not.
It's David Warner's greatest role.
The Elizabeth Berkley thing is like the one bit of fortuitous casting in it is that you could and it doesn't work out, but you could argue that what you have is at the center of the piece a brand new character that should be looking at this whole world wide-eyed, so she then life mirrors art in a kind of way, but it just fails miserably at that.
She only got paid $100,000.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I feel like now the tides are turning for you.
I wonder it sucks that movie studios are exploiting women just like they get depicted in this film, which was the point of
I wonder how
movie.
Close. It seems a little. Do you know something? We're going method on this. We're only going to pay you $100,000 because the message you'll need this. You'll need this. This will help you in the role.
Yeah.
I wonder how close to actual production. Like genuinely, because that's at the time for the movie. The budget of this was $35 million.
42 million.
Oh, 42 million, which in that time is huge money.
And 43 of it. 3-point-something million of it went towards the writer, and that's the lead actress gets $100,000. For the DVD, they were going to get interviews of people. She was like, "Okay, well, if you want me, I'm going to request a fee of $2,500, nothing." And they declined it, and she wasn't on the DVD.
Yeah, and
Holy shit!
Like no money, she made nothing off of this, and it ruined her.
And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous, and it's even heartbreaking that's the whole point of this film.
That's the whole point of this film. Though it was badly. Anyway,
I want a women's perspective on this. Where's the female gaze on Showgirls? I just have a new goal.
Anyway, Nomi has successfully seduces Zach secures an audition to be Krista's understudy. She wins the role when Krista threatens legal action against Stardust. The offer is rescinded after Krista taunts her. Naomi pushes her down a flight of stairs, breaking her hip, and replaces her as the lead in the show. Although Naomi has finally secured the fame she sought, she alienates Molly, realizing she caused Krista's injury. Molly later,
Then there's a whole nother movie after it.
So we've got to this point. Then we get to, I'm just going straight past this because this actually makes me sick even to just talk about. Molly later relents and attends Naomi's opening night celebration at a posh hotel where she meets her idol musician Andrew Carver. Andrew Carver lures Molly into a hotel room where he brutally beats her and leads his bodyguards in a gang raping of Molly. Right, she is hospitalized after the assault. Naomi wants to report the assault to the police, but Zach tells her that the Stardust will bribe Molly with hush money to protect Carver, their star performer. So he's a big part of the Stardust,
like hotel
the
chains.
family.
The show. I think he might be the mind behind the musical mind behind the stage show.
Behind Goddess.
Yeah. All this made me sick.
Yeah,
this 20-minute sequence just made me sick from start to finish.
20 minutes? I skipped over it. I didn't watch
the
it.
storyline of it it literally made me fucking
It's
sick.
also
and that guy was paid $3.5 million for this.
Yeah, and
and I have a real fucking hard time with that.
It's so problems with that sequence. I hate the editing of it because it goes between it cuts between the rape happening and then this juxtaposition of her falling in love with Kyle MacLachlan. It's the marginalization of what a black character is supposed to be there for in within the film. That's what she's there for, and this dehumanization of it, and then the resolution is that okay, this guy's brutally raped her, right, and also that it's okay, I beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
like that. Now everything's fucking fine.
It gets worse. It is going to get worse. Zach then confronts Naomi about her sordid past. Mm-hmm. Apparently he hired a private... What? He wasn't a nice guy the whole time? Don't you remember the pool?
So he also memorized all of her stats. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Like it closes the folder.
Her birth name is Polly Ann Costello, our real name.
But then, whilst he's pulling her apart for having lied about her past, whilst covering for a rapist, like as a kind of in the moral justification of it.
She became a runaway and a prostitute after her parents' murder-suicide. She's been arrested several times for drug possession, prostitution, and assault with a deadly weapon. Zach blackmails her by vowing to keep her past quiet if she will not tell the police about the assault. Unable to obtain justice for Molly without exposing her past, Naomi decides to take him to her own hand. She gets Carver alone in the hotel room, beats him severely. Good. Naomi then pays 2 hospital visits, one to Molly to let her know that Carver's actions did not go unpunished, and another to Krista to apologise for injuring her. Krista admits she pulled a similar stunt years ago. You know, I started getting out of breath towards the end of the film because you kind of said it. It's like we've seen this film. We're done. We were done.
Yeah,
we were done. Because
until Showgirls too, and then I was like, well,
we can continue.
Who was it?
I didn't know.
We can continue the story of Penny. Krista admits she pulled a similar stunt years ago because a lawyer secured her a large cash sum settlement. Krista forgives Naomi and they exchange a kiss. Naomi leaves Las Vegas and hitches a ride to, where's she off to? Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Coincidentally with the same driver who stole her possessions when she arrived, who she robs at knife point. Boom!
So... Yeah.
I laughed when it cut to her going to Los Angeles. Like, I'm getting out of here because this sucks.
Yeah. By the way, you can't do that. I mean, it's you can't do that on what is effectively the fucking motorway.
So this pisses me off in Hollywood movies in general with people hitchhiking, is that they because the way the camera is and the way the cars are coming, right? They always hitchhike the wrong fucking way, like. She should be watching the fucking traffic.
Yeah.
Well, that's what she is.
In every any
it actually
hitchhiking
says
scene,
wrong way.
in every hitchhiking scene, they walk down this way because they've got to walk towards camera, and they put their hands out, and it's really you walk backwards, and you've got to you've been watching you got to look at the traffic.
You're going a different way from the cars.
Well, the one thing we're not actually talking about is huge in this. It's very much a comment on America at the time. 75 cents for a beer.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
75 cents for beer. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and there was earlier on there was like 150 for like a dessert or something.
You buy a
It was
flight in
great.
Edinburgh for 20 grand.
Yes, when James is like, "You owe me a coffee because I bailed you out of jail," she flips him a quarter and says, "Buy your own." And I was like, "Beautiful."
Yeah.
Imagine the time.
McLaughlin recalled seeing the film for the first time at the premiere. I was absolutely gobsmacked. I said, "This is horrible, horrible." And it's a very slow sinking feeling when you're watching the movie and the first scene comes out and you're like, "Oh my, this is really bad." But you say, "Well, that's okay. The next one will be better." And then you somehow try to convince yourself that things are going to get better.
So
then the pool scene happened.
Oh my God.
that pool scene is very much like James Corden appearing in Cats, isn't it?
But
His
how did he,
PS to resist. I mean, that's it. It's so ridiculous. It doesn't work. It's so dumb. It's on purpose. Thank you.
but when I want to know what he thought during filming, because like what a great like
We
oh
talked
boy
about,
this
yeah,
is
we
bad.
talked about this in Cats.
Yeah.
It's like, did they just, and I'm not, all joking aside, all joking aside, did they not know? Because the performances in this are so off key. Like, Kyle MacLachlan is not a bad actor. There are some really good actors in this movie. But every single performance is just that little bit off.
So there's a bit. The one thing I do like about the whole fact this film exists, it won 7 Razzies.
Yeah.
Okay.
13 nominations, still a record to this day.
I don't know what it lost in. So that's a good point.
We're probably going to find out over the course of this podcast when we end up watching the other movies that were released that were.
Oh, I tell a lie, it was soon tied with Battlefield Air.
Was it
I've
really?
never seen that
Tied with
either.
Battlefield Air.
So it's the only thing that's beat it since for winning more Razzies is a film that I will nominate at some point.
Don't you fucking dare.
I will nominate Jack and Jill.
Don't you.
At some point.
Oh, God.
Which Jack and Jill, Adam Sandler playing Adam Sandler, and then Adam Sandler playing his twin sister. And it has
Wait, what?
and it has
Isn't this the one with Pacino?
it has Pacino in it.
Oh, that's that clip that was going round. I
Yeah.
knew it was from a comedy, but I didn't realise.
it has Pacino in it. It has Pacino in it. And
Doing a Dunkin' Donuts advert.
yeah, doing a Dunkin' Donuts advert.
It's, admittedly, it's funny as
That
well.
was pretty good out of context.
He's doing the Cappuccino, is the thing, and is Al Pacino rapping at the end.
How did they get him to do that?
I think they
Money.
paid him.
Money
You
kid.
say that, but this is one thing that gets me. It's like, if you have never been offered that role, why would you not? Why would you not? If someone went, you only ever do serious stuff. Do you want to do a comedy?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've always wanted to do a comedy. Boom, you're off and running.
This year and this film was a genuine turning point in the Razzies because Paul Verhoeven was the first person to turn up to collect his own Razzie.
Wow.
So from then onwards, it kind of then has become a thing.
Yeah.
So
Halle Berry did it.
Halle Berry did it as well. Yeah.
Did you give a speech?
I don't know. I imagine he did.
I mean, to be honest, I
Cheers.
fucking hate the Razzies. I think it's a really fucking shit lame thing to do.
Well,
Imagine
Imagine
doing a podcast
being
based on the
out
same
there.
thing.
Yeah, that was going to be the joke. The joke was going to be imagine criticising movies.
another due to the poor reception, Striptease got. Beg your pardon, Showgirls. Striptease, which came out in 1996, 1 year later, starring Demi Moore, was distanced from Showgirls in advertising. They tried to do everything. No, this is better. Like, he literally had.
I'm such a nerd. I was really disappointed in the film Striptease, even though it came out when I was a teenage boy, because it deviates from the book. It's actually a really good book. It's a thriller. It's a really
Who
good book.
are you?
You-
You're
Yeah,
an enigma.
I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle wrapped in.
Old Chris Scott.
But can I tell you that?
wrapped in crusty wank socks?
Can I
What?
tell
No,
you?
my wank socks are incredibly fresh and laundered.
Well, they're made of hemp.
What you want to do is just put a little bit of fabric softener, and that's you.
Although there is crossover, there is some crossover in the Showgirls
Is it a universe?
The Showgirls universe.
cinematic
Because
Showgirls universe.
Rena Russell, who played Penny/Hope in
Yeah.
Showgirls, was also in Striptease playing Tiffany Glass. So there we
Wow.
go. An alternative.
Striptease by Carl Hyson. Good wee kind of crime thriller. Recommend it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Burt Reynolds was in it. Striptease, don't you know?
Yeah. It's not a great film. The book's
It's
decent.
not a great film. It's not a great film.
I look at
The term Showgirls bad has been adopted by film critics and fans since its release. To date, Showgirls is the highest grossing NC-17 production, earning $20 million at the North American box office.
So I'm going to throw another film into the mix here that I think does everything in a similar world, just loads better. And I'm going to throw in the film Boogie Nights.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen it for a while, but I remember it being great.
Boogie Nights is good.
Yeah. And I can watch Boogie Nights.
Listen to the silence. Listen to the...
No, it's like
And I watched-
Mark.
Yeah.
It's great. There's a
Pete-
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Great.
Yeah, but it's like
Great.
that's like to me that's like, right, we're making a serious kind of movie, whereas this is like exploitation movie, but it actually has a point. And I think they're two different things. And you've got in the wee cinema diet. Sometimes you get some fine vegetables. Sometimes you just want some dirty meat.
Sorry, I just googled random 70s porn actor. And
Look at the work he's doing.
look who came up. Look who came up.
And he said he couldn't make it tonight.
He's the Nomi of our.
we just leave that up for the rest of the.
I think so.
We just read that.
I think so. Seems fine.
It's brilliant. I can't stop looking at it.
I know it is.
I know.
It's
It
distracting.
sucks you in.
Yeah, if for the audio listener, we are watching Chris Thorburn, which looks like miming,
Oh yeah.
Don't neglect his balls.
licking some balls while holding a shaft.
I believe this is a
Or
cat.
licking maybe like
I believe this
joint.
is a cat. This is
Drinking.
layers. This is a
Yeah.
cat drinking
Prosecco.
prosecco,
Yeah.
but it's also clearly
Sure.
him cupping the balls, working the shaft. Bring it over here, buddy.
Wow.
We got to close off on this one. What?
Surely finish off.
Oh, I hate saying that phrase, particularly as it'll smell of chlorine.
Yeah.
Shags in a pool, like again.
It's not a good experience.
The
No.
big sex, the bit. Oh, people are going to be talking about. People are going to want swimming pools. People are going to want swimming pools because of this scene. Right, Kyle, get in there.
I just hope he
Get that duck out.
Literally, there's
Get
that
that duck
waterfall in front of her, and there's that moment where just his hands come through like this, and you're
Like
like,
the Terminator. Just like the Terminator.
yes.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting
Yeah.
staging choice, almost as if they did that on purpose as well.
I'm not saying this is on purpose.
See the bit in porno when they go, right, now you get on top of her. That's staging.
Yeah, that's
I
still
just
on
think
purpose at that point.
Yeah, that's
the whole-
still on purpose.
Like what they've not planned it. They've gone. We've got a.
Well, I mean,
we've got a pool. We'll pay 150 quid.
So what comment
how
are
do
we
we
making
fucking?
here?
I'll defer to your greater knowledge of pornography, fellas. But as a good Catholic boy, I don't know what you're talking about.
You're quite right. We definitely don't have as good a knowledge of porn.
Yeah, because he's a monster. He's coming at her like he's a monster in a film. He's a horrendous person. He fucking lies to her about the chewing out his underling and all that. It's basically saying that every one of these men are just scumbags and they're all just going to take advantage of her and they're going to make it so that women have to fight each other to get to the top. And that is why Showgirls is actually a good movie.
So the concept of the film is
Uncross your legs. That was
no.
not that good movie. Thank you.
And in honor of Joe Esterhaus and his wonderful movies, I will not uncross my legs.
So what you're saying is, so the character is a bad person, and that is in some way, but he has to be a bad person because he works in a horrible
they're all
industry.
bad people. That's the point. And he's
They're
basically
not
saying,
all bad people. How dare you?
which men are good in
What
it?
about Penny?
Which men are good in it? None.
The cab driver. He's just trying to provide for his family.
Yo, James knocks up Penny and marries her.
And
Gets a real job.
yes, he's a real mensch. He's a real mensch.
The line for men is always low.
By
Okay?
lying to her about writing a song
it's-
for her and getting her to sleep with him. Exactly.
And then saying that she dances like a truck because she does. Okay, he's honest.
I mean, is he honest? Is honest about the one
Can I just
here?
ask how bad was the actress that played Penny's career? That
she waited
thought-
20
that she-
years.
20 years and thought, do you know what? I think I deserve a sequel to that movie.
Yeah, I mean, and well, she directed it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
I'm pretty sure she funded it as well.
Yeah,
I'm pretty confident.
she's a triple threat.
Everyone is a terrible person in this movie. Everyone's a terrible person in Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, but that's made by somebody who's not a good filmmaker.
Unlike Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Who is great.
Okay.
Listen, it's okay, right?
I feel-
on my side, it's the people that love cinema. Me, Scorsese, you know.
Who did you say?
Scorsese.
I thought you said Joe Gacy. I was like, he wasn't a good person.
Yeah, I don't know who that
I
is.
think we've got to the bottom of it.
I don't know who that is.
Is it a
If
murder?
the whole time you've just been discussing
you're
a
thinking
different
John Wayne.
film.
I'm thinking John Wayne
John
Gacy.
Wayne,
Yeah.
Yeah, no, wait. I watched Tar. That's what I watched. Sorry.
I think,
But there was enough overlap of things
why
that
we
happened.
question the moral compass of Chris over here? Is he willing to? Can he identify bad people? We're sure of that, but can he identify good people? That's what we're also worried about.
Evidently from this room, no.
But in terms of the film, I'm sorry. I would love on some level to believe that had gone into. I really genuinely would, because it would explain some quite bizarre choices.
All right, so here's a
However, I'm just to not hang your coat on that on the release of the film. It should never have been as big a film for a start. Maybe it wasn't meant to be, but they spent nearly 42 million on
I
this.
find that really nice to
They
spend
were
that money.
awful to an actress, which is
No, that
a comment
sucks,
on
yeah.
Hollywood
Yeah.
at the time.
Here's a question for you.
You go on.
Okay, this is based on a film. If you had to watch this or Cats again, which would you choose?
I take everything back, Chris. I take everything back. I think I would actually watch Showgirls again.
This train is big enough for everyone, guys.
I
Come
think
on
I would
board.
actually,
Don't make up a fake scenario just to get
I think
it.
that's
That makes sense.
if you had to take an axe to the balls or the arsehole, what would it be? At least one
I
would be a
don't
surprise.
have to watch either of them again, ever.
If you had to pick,
If I had to pick, I think I would genuinely watch Cats
He's singing.
because I think that's more of the like I could throw popcorn and come up with like it's a Rocky Horror Picture like
Okay.
throw
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
room, it's the room,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
yeah.
can with your friends you'd have a good time. Showgirls, you could do that to a point and then a sexual assault happens. And I think that
See,
the ruins
there it
it.
is.
I think
I mean,
that's
there is the thing is with this
There it
film
is.
now is
It's
that
horrible and
this
it's
film-
badly done, and it even makes it more
But this
horrible. You know
film-
what I mean? It just
Yeah.
it's so distasteful.
this film. You said you did a watch along with it.
We did, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So this film has had a Rocky Horror style re-release, right? And where people go dressed up as characters. And
When are we going?
Dress down.
When are we going?
And they will go along, and it has this re-release, this new life. This is what that documentary
Wow.
talks about. This thing, and I'm like, what did he do during that part of the film?
And
everyone
saying
just
that-
sits down quietly.
Yeah, I mean,
And-
it's a rough scene. I think it's completely misjudged. I think they're going for like they're just showing you how fucking like bad it is that this is happening next to all the glamour. I don't defend that scene.
No, of course.
That's why it's not only got 4 stars from me on Letterboxd. The star got taken off for that. assault
Okay,
scene.
for a second I thought we were going to 5 and I panicked for just a little second.
No, it's down to 4.
But the one thing we never really get to talk about it. It's part of my love of bad movies is when they do get that second life. Like for example, Troll 2, probably one of the most famous ones in the last decade you've ever heard. It's fantastic. See to watch with a cinema full of people.
Yeah.
It is a fucking blast.
Yeah, I'd like to go and see like Room or something.
Yeah.
No, the Room,
absolutely
the Room, not Room. Room.
I am genuinely
different thing, but yeah.
surprised to hear that about this film. Like I'm genuinely,
so
genuinely
that's what the
surprised.
film's
me
about.
too.
There was also
When are we going?
So
When are we going?
there was also there was a stage play. There was a musical,
Yes.
a short-lived musical of it.
Oh God! So there was.
And that was also Nomi. It was like Nomi. Oh, what's the name of it? It wasn't
Did that have a Nomi as
Showgirls.
well? Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know that. Yeah,
but because that's the one thing, she got dropped by her agent, but then she did have like a successful stage career afterwards.
Okay, cool. And Elizabeth Berkley, because I did go and check, has had a working career.
Yeah, there's a lot like
since
she's
then.
making a living.
There's a lot of like SVU and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's popping up in things. And oh my God, she dared to get old. What a scandal.
My dream would be like one of these people that turns up in SVU all the time. Like, I
want to be the guy that's busy moving stuff when they're trying to interview him. It's like, so what did you see? I didn't see nothing.
That's it. You want to be the guy at the coffee shop or the mechanic or something. You know, you're always just doing a bit busy work. Yeah, but and it's like,
what's that? You looking for Danny? Danny, get out of here!
Oh, you imagine that just every couple of months get one wee part like that. Oh.
I love that whenever in those shows when police are come looking for people, they're like, "Why do you want that scum? I hate them." And it's like, why? If someone's looking for someone,
we've got money for him.
yeah.
We've got 3.7 million for his script.
Yeah.
No one ever like comes straight out of the gate. Yeah, we're looking for your father. Is he a good man? If you want him to fuck your wife, yeah. It's in terms of this film, no, I don't think, as much as I'm all for films being resurrected to get another sense of life. If I were putting this and digging this a grave, I happily would. I'm afraid to say. Showgirls 2, on the other hand, you'd be surprised. There's something.
That's actually really, that's really good.
Could it be saved? Could it have been saved? Could it have been saved?
If a woman took a go at rewriting the whole thing, I'd be interested.
The budget would have been a lot less, so yeah.
Yeah, it would be the indie film it deserves to be.
Maybe if it had been even at the time, like I'm thinking of the female directors would have been big in Hollywood, like a Catherine Bigelow or someone.
So look, having a female director in charge of one of my favorite films is having a female director.
Oh, Bigelow's great.
Yeah, having a female director in a charge like this is not a guaranteed route to success, as we're proven by. Like 50 Shades of Grey. So, just because, what you need is someone without that Paul Verhoeven turn it up to 10 sensibility, because this should have been a story, this should have been a story just handling much more sensitivity and, something closer to fucking Leaving Las Vegas or something like that. Do you know what I mean? In that kind of, that with the seediness of the world, that kind of stuff.
Why was Hollywood getting so obsessed with Las Vegas? They do that thing when they go, like, remember there was about like 3 Robin Hood movies out at one point, and then there was all sort of space alien stuff. Who was the guy that went, guys, I've just heard MGM are making a movie about Showgirls?
Maybe just like finally the mafia weren't in control and it was a lot easier. It might have been around that time.
Right. Now it's the point that always makes me very nervous. And Kate, it's always been great having you on the show. And you're a welcome back. I would love for you to come back next time. In fact, if you would, oh dear, we've never done this. Would you like to pick what the next film is?
I was afraid you were going to ask. And I was like, I don't, do I just go with Showgirls 2?
No,
that's 2 on. I would not. But, and then I'm actually quite, I'm quite intrigued by Jack and Jill.
No! It'd be the first comedy. It'd be the first comedy. It'd be the fuck.
Okay, so enjoy your relapse on COVID.
If you come in here, Jack and Jill is my favourite film of all time.
It's actually a commentary on how the cinema treats women, because they actually have a man play a woman, and that's,
I have a
next level.
It's sibling, the issue with family, the modern era, the modern definition of family. Is it really addressed?
The breaking down of familial bonds. What does this mean to society? And, do we live in an atomized world?
So I'm getting you a berry for the next show.
I want
10 quid he gets COVID before the next one.
I once for a panel show, a film panel show, had to come up with a bad movie pitch,
right?
Like as an idea, and I just hate this type of film. The dual character kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the pitch I had was a Martin Lawrence vehicle, where it was Martin Lawrence and Adam Sandler, and the pitch for the movie was Martin Lawrence is Adam Sandler. Yeah. Adam Sandler is Martin Lawrence, and it was just like them both playing the versions of each other.
That would have been released in like 2000.
When you look at like White Chicks and you go, and that type
and then also the film.
When you look at White Chicks or Showgirls, as we call it,
that could have been what it was called.
Once again, I'd like to thank my glorious panel of Chris Scott, Rick Molland, and Kate Hammer.
I'd just like to say before we finish, fuck you, Chris Thorburn.
Yeah. Wow. Is there another feminist in the room?
Thorburn would have backed me up in this, I feel. We'll find out if we're getting his video, but I feel he might have backed me up.
Yeah. I should say we are going to edit together his review of
him going.
We will see you next time. Watch Bad Movies, where we will be watching Jack and Jill. That's all the good time for all the cast yourselves. Bye bye.